Hi guys, and welcome to the first of my new Game Bites series, where we look at one particular aspect of a game. Today we're going to be looking at Hardline Gunner and focusing on the weapons. Now some of these weapons are existing ones within the game currently. You can download and play a demo right now, the link will be in the description below. And some of these weapons have been shown off through the developer's Twitter, YouTube videos and various devlogs, all of which again will be linked in the description. The developer was kind enough to provide me with a special build of the game for me to mess around in, which is why I captured this footage. So if I show you weapons being used in odd places where you wouldn't normally find them, that's your reason why. So without further ado, let's jump on straight in. So the first thing we're going to look at here is your basic shot that we all know and love. Now there's no big surprises here, but the developer has mentioned in their latest devlog video that the charged shot that you get when you haven't fired for a few seconds is being removed. The reason he gave was related to player confusion around when it triggers or how to use it, along with the general flow of the game. I'm sure you can appreciate that in a fast-paced game like this, a special shot that requires you to not fire for a while sort of impedes the flow somewhat. The next weapon that I'm sure you're all familiar with and that we all very much love for very quickly clearing out rooms is the spread shot. Now this gives you a big old fan of shots each time you fire it. As I said, it's really good for clearing out rooms, and you'll very quickly learn to love this one when you pick it up. So moving on from multiple shots, how about seeking shots? This is the seeking gun, and it's very useful for when you want to stay out of line of sight of the enemies, because as soon as it locks on, it is going around corners, it is avoiding everything in order to hit those enemies. And much like with the spread shot, this is really good for clearing out a room. As you can see in the clip I'm showing here, I just went straight through that room with no trouble. So hitting the enemy directly is always a lot of fun, but how about if your shots exploded? This is the rocket pickup, and does exactly what it says on the tin. Every time your shots impact on something, big old explosion, area of effect damage on the enemies, and as a bit of a running theme here, again very good for clearing out a room full of enemies. The area effect is actually quite large, so even sometimes when it doesn't look like the enemies are within the blast radius, it will affect them. And as a nice little bonus, you still get fairly rapid rate of fire with this weapon. So moving on from the traditional weapons into something a little more fancy, the next weapon slows down time on each enemy kill. This means that if you're at risk of getting surrounded or you're being bombarded from all sides already, all you have to do is kill someone, time will slow down, and then suddenly you've got much more room to think. You can just take your time, move around between the shots, block whichever ones you need to, take out the rest of the enemies nice and relaxed. So finally, and this weapon again is a little different to all the others, when you use this weapon to kill an enemy, the enemy doesn't actually die immediately. Instead the corpse becomes frozen in place, and either when you press the F key, or when the timer expires on the weapon, that corpse will then explode. This causes damage to nearby enemies, and if you've managed to kill any of the orange guys in the meantime, their corpses will spray out the usual spread of bullets, which can cause quite a lot more damage in the area. Luckily for you, the explosions do not damage the player. So that's a very quick rundown of the weapons that are either currently in Hardline Gunner or will be very soon. Of course, bear in mind that the game is in alpha at the moment, so all of these weapons are subject to change, and for the new ones, by the time they make it into a playable demo, they might change quite a lot. I hope you've enjoyed this overview. As usual, if you liked it then leave a like, if you want to see more then subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.